On you this afternoon at 4. In just 4 days from now, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine is expected to unveil his two-year budget.
The budget proposal coming Monday is expected to address the financial struggles inside the state's 58 domestic violence shelters. TV's Kevin Landers shows us how much more shelters are requesting and how that money will be used.
According to Columbus Police, about 18.5% of the homicides in the city last year were domestic violence related. The Ohio Domestic Violence Network is asking the state to double its efforts financially to help shelters address the needs of those in fear for their lives. Survivors of domestic violence need housing, they need legal advice, and they need medical care, says Mario Doherty, the executive director of the Ohio Domestic Violence Network.
1 out of every 2 survivors that goes to one of our shelters does not get service. 1 out of every 2 survivors gets turned away because they don't have the capacity. Our shelters don't have the capacity to serve them. And that's an outrage.
That's why her organization is asking Governor Mike DeWine to double the state's commitment to domestic violence shelters.
We're requesting $40 million. And when you look at how other states support their domestic violence programs and compare it to the way Ohio does, it's really clear that we need to do a better job in Ohio.
O'Doherty says should Governor DeWine approve the $40 million request, it would bring Ohio in line with other neighboring states.
That would bring our spending up to or in the neighborhood of what Pennsylvania spends, Michigan spends, Kentucky spends, West Virginia spends.
She says the money will help solve many of the issues facing the rural parts of our state.
Especially in smaller rural areas, don't have staffing at night. So survivors are by themselves at home, and if you, in the shelter rather, and if you have a problem that comes up in the middle of the night, there's no one there to help you. I mean, that shouldn't be the case at all. So that's an example of a hole that would be filled.
In the past, the state could rely on rescue plan dollars to help domestic violence shelters. But with rescue plan dollars rapidly going away, the Ohio Domestic Violence Network is still hopeful that the state can meet its request. Reporting from the State House, Kevin Landers, 10 TV News.